Empathy Boost. Does empathy matter? Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. And as we talk about today's subject, we would love to hear from you. You can enter your questions or comments into the comment box on your mobile device or on your computer. So, to explore today's question, does empathy matter? I'm going to share a recent personal experience of receiving some unwelcome medical news. After receiving some medical tests, one doctor had someone on their staff, a person I had never met, call me in the grocery store to tell me I had osteoporosis and to start taking medication first thing in the morning with a full glass of water while standing up for at least 30 minutes. The voice then instructed me to do a regimen of practices I'd already been doing for years, and that I'd need to reschedule the medications that I was already on. I walked through the grocery store, stunned, picking up bananas, standing in the checkout line. My mind raced with unanswered questions. How did this happen when I practiced preventative measures? How bad was it? What happens to a spacious place if I have to limit my activities? After learning about the potential serious side effects of the medication, I couldn't bring myself to take it without further information. I contacted the doctor and waited almost a week for a response. By that time, I had contacted my GP for a second opinion. I heard back from her nurse the same day telling me to schedule an appointment. I was nervous about the appointment, so I wrote down all of the questions I could think of so I could be succinct and thorough. After I read to the doctor what I'd written, my doctor said, "I take that medication." Then she went on to explain the reason for standing, gave me a plan for rescheduling the other medication, told me the osteoporosis was real but early stage, encouraged me to take the meds because they were the best choice to halt the osteoporosis in early stages, and scheduled a further test to ensure that all the factors were covered. I ended the appointment with a plan. I was taking the medication because it will enable me to continue the work I love and to be fully present to the persons I love. So here's the question. What differed between these two interactions in which I received exactly the same information? The first left me struggling against despair. The second empowered me to take on a new, unwelcome challenge. And here is what came to me, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this subject as well. First of all, presence. In the first case, I was contacted on the phone by someone I had never met. In the second case, I spoke face-to-face with the doctor I knew. I could read her expressions, note the tone of her voice, feel accompanied on this unexpected, unwelcome journey. Connection and compassion. The information I received from the first doctor was filtered through a second party with whom I had no personal connection. I was a name on a to-do list. The second doctor listened to my questions and concerns and addressed each one as a human to a human. I was heard. Shared experience. In the first case, the human component, the shared experience, was lacking. Information that threatened many of the things I cared deeply about was communicated with clinical precision. It felt like instructions on how to assemble a bookshelf rather than a caring professional offering help. In the second case, the doctor began by telling me she takes the medication. In another scenario, the doctor might say, "My children are getting vaccinated," or "This worked well for my father." And while physicians need to take care in revealing personal information, that moment of sharing did me more good than all the information that followed. Here was a doctor who took the meds and had an active, productive life, I could too. And last time, I had an agony of waiting to hear back from the first doctor. I felt like a burden that the doctor had sighed and taken on. I heard back within 24 hours from the second doctor's nurse, and the doctor, though she was running late with her appointments, took time to hear my concerns and fully respond to my questions. So here is my suggested practice for us this week. Recall a time you received news that was hard to hear. What was your reaction? How much impact did the way the news was delivered affect how you received the news? You may choose to journal about the experience, writing it as it occurred, and then as the opposite, as either an empathetic or a lack of empathetic response. It's a worthy practice because when we feel how empathy is lacking and how that affects us and our times of vulnerability, it gives us more empathy toward others. Presence, connection, compassion, shared experience, and time. All of these are elements of empathy. We can become the one who takes the time, makes a connection with compassion, is fully present, and who communicates with an awareness of our shared human experience. When we do so, we become agents of hope and empowerment. That is the power of empathy, and that is why it matters. So I wanted to also just tell you that this particular dude is also the logo for our upcoming Children's Creativity Camp, Art for the Earth, where we celebrate the beauty of our Earth and then think about what we can do to take care of her. And it will be August 2nd through 6th, and you can register on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. Also, if you found this helpful, we hope you will like it on Facebook, and you can rewatch on Facebook, on YouTube, or on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. So for our closing prayer today, let's just take some breaths together. Let's lower our eyes and put our feet on the floor in a way that feels like balance. And then move our breathing from up here, high in our chest, down to what we call belt buckle breathing, down here deep in our diaphragm. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. And let's just take some breaths together. And now, let's just call to mind someone who delivered hard news to us in a way that was empathetic. Let's call them to mind. And let's offer thanks for that person and their empathy. And now let's choose one of those empathetic practices that was meaningful to us to try to emulate in the future in our lives in the world. God, as Maya Angelou said, we are more alike than we are unalike. Give us the connection we need to show empathy where it is needed. And we thank you for those who did the same for us. Amen.